And hello and warm welcome to the Agents of Happiness. I am your host and I am Anne Pluto Williams. And I know I keep saying this, but today I am very excited because I have a guest that is my friend and also my colleague at work, because I do have a job actually. And Shirley and we work together, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So Shirley, a big round applause for you, and I'm so happy that you're here. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Anne, for having me.
Mm-hmm.
You have been, we have been talking at work quite regularly, casual conversations.
Yes.
About everything around the world except for work.
Exactly.
Right?
Because so after all, we are working in the same organization.
Yeah.
But not in the same department.
Absolutely.
No.
So,
but who are you? What's your name?
Yeah, my name is Shirley Xavier Ferrao. Okay.
Yeah.
I have been in Qatar for most of my life.
Yes.
I am a dinosaur in that sense. I am originally from India, but I've lived like most expats here, has spent a considerable amount of time here.
Yeah.
My parents used to be here. I grew up here. So I have a lot of love and affection for this country. And when you invited me to the show, I said, Agents of Happiness. Wow, I love making people happy. I love being happy. Who doesn't like being happy, right?
Yeah.
And then I said, why not? Like, if it's, I'm usually shy with big crowds. So I said, okay, and is it going to be just us? You were like, yeah. I'm like, okay, great. I can talk. I can just talk with you.
You can talk good. I mean, as you hear, Shirley can talk. Shirley can talk.
So yeah, I'm very happy to be here.
Thank you.
And looking forward to this conversation, looking forward to what we have to share, looking forward to our discussions. And yes, that's that.
Thank you, Miss Shirley. And I think, it was interesting because we were going here. How do you say
We came together. We carpooled together.
We carpooled together.
Yeah, sort of. I drove her here.
We were driving together in your fancy car, and I just realized we have never been outside the office ever.
Absolutely.
Together.
And today was a day of firsts, right?
It was so weird.
It was like, if I've known you for almost 4 years.
Yeah.
We've never socialized outside office.
No.
I've been inspired through your Happy People program. I've always, been admiring it from afar, supporting you from afar, never attended any of those. But, always thinking, man, this girl, this lady is so inspirational kind of thing. And so, even being in the car with you and everything, it's like first time in the car, first time outside office, first time for me doing something like this. This is something regular to you. But so I think it's a day of firsts. And
it's a day of first. And I really would, I know, because, you are a big inspiration, I think, for many, many at work. And of course, your friends, because you really live life, right? And you live life, and that is such a cool thing because you love travel.
Yes.
So, but I will not give the answers to you.
Cool.
But I will ask you something. What makes you happy?
Wow,
Okay.
So
just a little question. What makes you happy?
It's a little question, but with big feelings, right?
Yeah.
So what makes me happy? I like being surrounded by people. I like making a difference in people's lives. I like filling up my day with things apart from work. Yeah. I love working. I love my employer. I love the money. I love the life it gives me.
Yeah.
And then I like, it's 8 hours of work, right?
Yeah.
And then you have 24 hours. So what do you do with the rest of the 16 hours, if my math was correct? So then I like filling things up in those 16 hours of what I like to doing. It involves sleeping as well. It involves eating as well. It involves, working out, involves solving jigsaw puzzles. It involves Netflix, lots of things, right? So what makes me happy, to answer your question, if I were to put it in a line, is like being surrounded by people and doing things that makes a difference in my life.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, I really like that because I think a lot of us, just live, right? Just go up, brush your teeth, go to work, eat something, go to bed.
Yeah.
But to really have a vision of your life, I think that is kind of the change, right?
Yes.
You know, you really think
Yes.
what is making you happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think that, year on year, when you look back on your life, I'm not talking about a 31st December and 1st January kind of situation. I'm talking about if you do like a self-appraisal for your life, what changed in the last 3 years? It's not necessarily everything happy, right? There could be some sad moments. There could be some, tough moments, uphill moments. But the thing about uphill is there is a downhill after that. And after downhill, there's an uphill, So that, I like this whole, it's a reference to an ECG where it's up and down all the time. I don't want a flat line, obviously, because nobody wants a flat line.
Because then we're dead.
Yeah, exactly. So nobody wants that. So the thing, this up and down is what makes me happy. This
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a little bit bouncy.
Yeah, bouncy. It's important because even when you're down, you're just like, you know what, there's a light at the end of this. There is an up somewhere here kind of thing.
But what I also find impressive with you is that you put up goals for yourself. And that is, I mean, can I share this?
You can, absolutely.
I think you know what I'm going to talk about. Because you did quite a long run.
Yes.
And you were training, because I was like, what are you going to do today after work? And you was like, I'm going to train. And I was like, okay, what are you training?
Yeah.
And you said, I'm training for this run.
Yes.
And would you like to tell a little bit? Because it's very inspirational.
Absolutely. So this whole run and, everyone's in some sort of fitness journey. Everybody wants to look and feel a particular way. Everybody wants to be a particular way when they're old. But for me, it sort of boils down to say 3 or 4 years ago, I said, I want to age nicely. I want to be that person that when they're old, to be able to do my stuff, travel and take care of myself and everything for as long as I can. Now, in order to do that, which is like, say, 65, 70 plus 75, if I get to live that long, I got to change certain things about myself now, right? So then I picked up a fitness journey, tried to, eat better and, work out better and stuff. And, obviously fast forward to this whole running situation. There was a friend of mine who said, we're doing this, there's the Qatar East-West happening, and would you want to participate? And me, I'm like, how big is this group? So he's like, oh, but we're about 100 runners and stuff like that. I'm like, 100 people? Okay, never mind.
You don't like
I don't
big
like
crowds.
The groups. So I said, you know what, it's fine. I've made some excuses, and I said, it's okay. I'll not be part of this. But turns out they had a last minute dropout, and then he reached out to me. He said, hey, listen, can you chip in? Can you come in? There's a last minute dropout. I said, okay. And as fate had its way, I signed up for it in 2024, okay, in the month of August. And as fate has it, in September, I broke my foot, okay, in 2024.
I remember this,
right? And I was like, okay, I guess the universe doesn't want me to participate. I told him, hey, listen, you know what? This happened. I'm in a cast now. I can't participate. I can't run anymore. And the Qatar East-West is a 90-kilometer stretch. You do it as a teamwork, right?
Yeah.
And people make me happy. So I'm like, 6 people. Okay, 6 people I can interact with. So that's why I initially agreed for it, okay? Anyway, cut long story short, I wasn't able to participate in 2024. So I promised him that, hey, listen, I'm going to participate in 2025, okay? And that's why we with the team, etc., we ran, 6 of us ran the whole stretch of 90 kilometers. It was from the Sheraton to the Khan beach and ended and everything. It's an event that was popularized all over Qatar. Now there, it sort of struck something in me. I ran the 13-kilometer patch of the 90 kilometers. And at that time, after I ended the 13 kilometers, I was like, hey, man, feels pretty short. I could still go, but the event was over. That was it. 90 kilometers was done. We all got our medals, etc., etc. So that's when I set a goal for myself. I said, I could do 13. Let me finish a half marathon by myself, okay? And there was no event, and there was nothing. And the following week, I just said, you know what? I'm going to do a 21.1, which is a half marathon. And so I took my car out. I parked it at the MIA. I took some snacks, kept it in the car, etc. And I said, hey, listen, I'm not going to be worried about timing. I'm not going to be worried about anything. There's nobody cheering me. There's no medals waiting for me. I'm going to go and finish this 21K. So I put the goal, and for myself, I said, I'll finish this. I want to be called a half marathoner. Let me do this for myself, Yeah. And that was the day the weather changed sort of in Qatar, and it was cloudy and it was going to rain and everything. So I was here, I was making excuses. You know what, it's going to rain, let it be, whatever. But I'm like, hey, listen, you're already prepared yourself. Your snacks are ready, your nutrition. I actually kept dates and, this little bit grapes and dates and stuff in the car. And I said, and I mapped out, even, for your biological breaks here and there, because 21 is like, it takes about 3 hours or so. Now, in the fitness world, I took 3.5 hours to complete 21K. But for me, it was inspirational because there was nobody who told me to do this. I put it for myself. I did it for myself. And I said, hey, you know what? And there's a tagline that I put myself, if you put your mind to something, you can do it, no
Yeah.
matter what. Okay, so this is the goal thing that
I really loved it. And, you know, I think all of us were cheering on you. And when we saw the pictures and, you
Yeah.
know, so cool. And I'm very proud of you.
Thank you.
And I also love that you talk about, you know, more in a longevity perspective. Not like I'm going to be fit, I'm going to be that just because I'm going to look like Miss Universe. No, you want to do to,
Yes.
you know, feel your life better.
Yes, absolutely. And that would give me happiness. It's like
Yeah.
when I look at myself in the mirror, obviously everybody looks and feels a particular way.
Yeah.
But when I look at myself, happiness for me
Yeah.
would be like, I want to feel a particular way. When I wake
Yeah.
up from the bed in the morning, I'll be like, oh my God, this is hurting. Oh my God, that is hurting.
Yeah.
Or, you know, I had to climb down the stairs yesterday and now today I have like, you know, a pain in my glutes or pain in my back. I don't want all of those problems, you know. And looking and feeling a particular way, I'm not talking about the abs and the other side of things. Obviously, that eventually will come. But I want to feel healthy and then feel happy.
Yeah.
You know, so this is where my correlation with happiness and workout and filling your day with good stuff. You know?
I love that. And you are an inspiration. And when I see your lunch boxes and everything, your snacks, you're good. And also my snack drawer at work have totally changed.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
That's why I say you're an inspiration to me, you know. You have sort of like, it's hard, especially when people have bring a big cake in front of you and your colleagues are, you know, stuffing face with all the best stuff and you have to eat. I bought these snacks and I have to eat this because I have a particular nutrition I have to follow if I need to do.
Yeah.
Right? It all boils down to goals that you put for yourself. So, yeah, you're inspirational to me as well.
Shukran, Shirley. You are amazing. But what do you do? I'm a little bit curious.
Yes.
What do you do when you feel like, because as I know you, you are a happy, cheerful person. But what do you do when you lack it, when you lost your mojo, you know, when you're just like, oh, I don't feel it. I don't feel my happiness. What do you do?
So I am an overthinker. Everybody who knows me is like, I've always thought of the worst case scenario.
Oh.
Okay. So when I think of the worst case scenario, and it never happens, right?
No.
Touch wood, it never happens. So like, if simple case, like if I'm trying to call somebody and they don't answer, let's say, okay, and I'll try, and I'm like, of course I need to discuss with that person. So I don't want to just leave a text. I want to talk. And that person has not answered, and then it's been a day, not second day, the person not called back. I have thought of the worst case scenario. Okay, I don't want to mention what.
Okay.
That's obviously.
Yeah.
And so when the person, so it's not so much about losing mojo, but for me, the overthinking aspect is where sort of attacks my happiness mojo, where I think that, hey, what if this happens? What was that person trying to say? Was he trying to say, you know? So I try to basically attack or deal with the overthinking emotion aspect of me, is then I can bring my mojo back.
So what do you do then? What is your tactic?
Tactic.
What is your tactical thinking when you're overthinking? What do you do to not overthink?
I just breathe. This is
good.
Yeah. It's taught to me by the coach who, you know, looks over my nutrition and my workout and stuff. So he is like, you need to exhale more and inhale less. So I'll just be like, you'll sometimes hear people say, you know, those kind of things.
That is really smart.
But it feels like, okay, the thought that you were having is gone now, you know, like
I
that
like
that negativity.
Yeah.
So exhale more and inhale less. It sounds like you're probably fighting something like
That is really good.
But yeah.
Because it's almost like you're taking it
Taking out the anger, because people, you know, punch walls and I know I don't have that kind of physical strength anyway. But yeah, so I think if you exhale, you see movies, right? They punching bags or the boxing bag or those kind of things. But yeah, so I think breathing out more.
Love that. That is a really cool thing. I really love that. But what do you do? So you have a lot of friends. I know that. And you are doing so much fun thing. I love. I never been hanging out with you.
Yes.
But you do so much fun things. You're like doing like these murder mysteries and all the things. It's so cool. But what do you do when you have like a friend that is very close to you or your husband?
Yeah.
If you see that person struggling, you know, do you approach or do you try to help or to bring your happiness?
See, I'm not trained, obviously, to deal with somebody who's having big emotions.
No.
Okay, of course not. But my tool will probably be distraction, you know. So if a friend is, you know, probably calling me to talk about something and is rather than, feeding into that negative emotion, I will probably distract and talk about, like a happy dog or something silly, or something silly that happened in my life or something, just to divert from the topic a bit.
Smart.
Because I may not be able to have all the right answers, because
No.
what that person's feeling is genuine, is real, right?
Yeah.
And if I see the pattern, then I obviously tell them to take professional help, because hey, I'm not equipped. But other than that, it's just, I think, distraction. I think all of us, right? Why do you? I don't know. This is probably where. If our day is tired, it's like, we put on Netflix or we do something else. It's a mode of distraction.
I love that.
It's healthy up to a point, right? But
because
if you
otherwise, you just like think, and what you were talking about also,
Yeah.
you don't want to feed into it.
Yes.
Because it's like, oh no.
Absolutely.
Or
Yeah.
you feel like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh yeah. You know what? Even I'm feeling the same. No.
Yeah,
You need to sort of move the
Smart.
emotion. Yeah.
I really, because it's a distraction is always very good.
Yeah, may not be healthy all the time. Okay,
No.
let's put it that way. But once in a while, why not? If
Yeah.
that person can be eased, the thoughts can be eased out. Sure, why not?
Because that is actually my thing. When I lose it,
Yeah.
like when I don't really have that, ooh,
Yeah.
then I try to distract myself.
Yes. And then it comes back. It comes back, because if that's your core emotion, if happiness and being lighthearted and being, the life of the party, as they say, if that's your core emotion, it will come back. There will be obviously dark days.
Someone said to me, it's like sitting on a train,
Yeah.
and you see the landscape changing, right?
Yes.
Because we are moving.
Absolutely.
And that is also the feelings, the thoughts. They're just moving.
And the idea is you're moving. You are moving. You're
From
going
it.
ahead. Exactly.
Yeah.
You're moving away from it. You're moving towards something else. So yeah.
I love you. You're such what an inspirational guest we are having today, Shirley. But tell me more. So do you have anything, you talked about your health and mission that you're on. So would you say that exercise is also one of the things that makes you more happy?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah?
I think even scientifically it's proved, right?
Yeah.
It releases some endorphins into your body to make you feel better. Sometimes even just getting up and doing a few jumping jacks make you feel better.
It does.
It takes out the lethargic part of your day and stuff like that. But I don't really want to be like, hey, listen, I'm a fitness guru and things like that, because that's, again, not all I do in the day.
No, of course not.
It is an important part. I think everybody needs to include some sort of fitness journey. But up to you, whatever floats your boat, whatever works for you. You know? As long as you've taken some decision and made some change, that's perfect. That's good enough.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
And I mean, we sit a lot.
Absolutely.
At work.
Yes.
I mean,
that's our job. We have to sit there. Yeah. Kind of thing.
It's not the job to sit.
No. True. But I wish we had standing desks. Maybe it's like feedback through our management. Like, give us
excuse me, management, if you're here, we would like. No, but honestly, because it's good to, I'm trying my best. So every hour
to move,
to jump up. But it's easy to just like
continue
be sitting there.
Absolutely.
Just sit working.
Yeah, true. I agree.
Until the eyes are bleeding.
And then you're like, oh my God.
Why don't I see better? So now we are, as you know, we are sitting in this beautiful radio station.
Absolutely.
Which is very funky and colorful and happy. So I know that we talked before about radio. But do you have any cool memories with radio? Or, I know you're much younger than me, but the radio was a big thing when you were growing up as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. So I grew up in Qatar, right?
Yeah.
And I spent a lot of my considerable amount of time in Qatar as well as back in India. So I have actually two stories that are where I've sort of crossed paths with radio. Obviously, never been part of it in an official stance. But when I was really young, there was a radio station here which is still obviously existing, QBS.
Yeah.
Okay. And that time I was new to this whole concept of media. I didn't know. I was a child. I mean, I'd probably be all of 8 and 9 years old kind of thing. Okay. And my mom and dad used to listen to a lot of radio, and there were a lot of quiz questions that would come up there during Ramadan, during probably some festive time and stuff like that. And so to be like, they would put the question up, and then the callers had to call in and provide the answers, right? And I was when the question came up on air, my mom knew the answer, so she tried to coach me into, do you know the answer? What is it? And I'm like, yeah, I know the answer. She's like, okay, call. So the idea was, if you know the answer, you call.
Yeah.
And if you're the one selected who gave the correct answer, they will call you back and you give the right answer on air. Okay? I had no idea this is how it would work. So I called and they said, you have the answer? What is the answer? I can't remember what the question was. Obviously, I gave the answer. Okay, cool. Awesome. You are selected. We will call you back in 5 minutes. Stay near the phone. It was a landline then. Stay near the phone and we will call you back and you will be on air directly. Okay?
Yeah.
And you give the answer out on there. I'm like, okay, excited. I was a child, did not know anything. So the phone rings, say 3 or 4 minutes later.
Hello, Shirley.
Hello, Shirley. No, there's no hello, Shirley. It's just the phone rings. I'm supposed to pick up the phone. And I'm picked up the phone and I can't hear anything. I'm not sure how this whole system of radio works. I can't hear anything on the other side. And I'm like, hello? Hello, hello. And my mom, because she knows now I'm going to be on radio, she takes this little portable radio we had. And she goes into the bedroom far away from me so that she's not in front of me to distract me. And I'm doing on the phone, hello, hello, I can't hear you, hello. And I'm like, Mama,
Mama,
I can't hear what's happening. And she comes running with the transmitter. She's like, I can hear you.
You are on radio, Shirley.
Just give the answer and close the phone, you know.
But that is so cute.
Exactly.
I love that story.
So that was one. And second,
but also,
yes,
you won.
I won. It was like something, like a coloring book or something back then. But I won, right? But I was like, my mom was like, don't you know, you silly girl? I'm like, I didn't have any idea, you know. So
but
this is how I learned
how
it's a core memory. And that's how I learned how the radio works. The hard way. I learned the hard way.
Yeah, of course.
And then back when I was in India, there was in the town that I was in, the city that I was growing up in, actually, there was these auditions there was a new radio coming up there. And they had auditions. They said, because I speak very fast, as you've realized.
You know, sorry, I would love you to have subtitles.
So they were like, oh, wow, you fit perfectly. Audition, okay? And I'm like, okay, great, let's audition. And then I cleared the audition, but I needed to speak in the regional language also, which I was aware of. I could speak, but the rate of speech was much slower. So they were like, no, we need the same rate of speech. And I'm like, no, I can't do that in that rate of speech. They're like, you know what, you're not selected. So that's the second stint I had with radio. So radio has been around, yes.
Everything happens for a reason.
Absolutely.
Because if you just think about it, if the sliding doors, you know. If you would be that radio star. We wouldn't have met.
Absolutely.
And you wouldn't sit now.
But you would be listening to me all the time. You never know.
Of course. But on the other hand, I wouldn't understand because you're speaking too fast.
Absolutely. But yeah, that was my stint with radio.
I love it. I am so happy that you took your time. I know it's Thursday today when we are recording. And, you know, we want to go and have you. I know you have a busy life. I'm sure you're going to do some murder mysteries.
Not every week. We try once every 6 months or so. We try and do these. We fill up. It's the typical expat life. I think a lot of people hearing in also will be like, when you live away from home, you know, you obviously find your community, you hang around with people with similar interests and stuff. And then you share interests, whatever it is, right? Whether it's game week or board night or, you know, we meet out for some beverages, playing cards, you know, anything that sort of fills, enriches, you know, even just board games are different board games. There's a friend of mine who will teach us new board games. I'm like, what is this? You know, where did you learn this from? He's like, no, I've been part of a board game group. So we learn something. So it's not just playing, you know, moving things around. No. It's like strategy and, you know, thinking and those kind of things. So then there's workout, then there's, you know, Netflix, then I'm learning the drums. So
this girl.
So I have a teacher he's back in Dubai. So we learn online. So then I have a test this week. So it's like
really, you're a drummer.
I'm learning to be. Right now I'm a really slow drummer. But
have you seen the Muppets?
I have. Yes.
Then you are animal.
Yeah, I'm an animal. Yeah, exactly. But the Muppets even play better than me right now. I'm still learning.
Oh, Shirley, you're so cool.
Yeah.
And you should actually. I'm not sure if your account is open or if it's closed on Instagram.
It's open. Yes,
it's open. So you should follow Shirley.
Yes,
we should add that in.
Yeah, meal and wheel. Yes.
Wow. Shirley is a globetrotter. You have been in 25 countries.
Yes.
And you travel, you know, I don't know, like 6-7 times a year. It's like amazing. So follow Shirley.
Yes.
Because it's very
I don't put up much, honestly. It's an open account, but I don't put up much. Because for me, when I'm, like I said, I'm in the moment. I'm enjoying, I'm soaking in everything I can. It's all registered here. It's all filled up in my phone, but I rarely post, right?
I know.
So I'm not so much social media. I like to be present. And
but you should follow your husband then.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can follow him.
Because
he's not on this show, so no, don't follow him.
Oh my goodness. So thank you, Shirley. And yes, we have a thing here in the show. That we say thank you in our languages. And you have like 3
Oh
languages.
my God, I have to think. Okay, I have to think in the...
So you speak your
Yeah.
3 different Indian language.
Yes. I'm going to
So
take a help
English
of my phone. Please edit this out.
I mean
English we
that
don't
is
need,
like
yes.
thank you.
Exactly.
So thank you. In
Shukriya.
your
Okay.
shukran, of course.
Shukran.
And in my language is tak.
Okay. In Hindi, it's dhanyavad.
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 Dhanyavad. Now looking at our producer. Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Okay. So I think we can, because it's not just me and Shirley in the room.
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we bring in the producer here in the camera and we say Dhanyavad together.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Yeah, dhanyavad.
Maybe we also take our photographer, our filmer, and then we do something funky. We say Dhanyavad.
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 Dhanya.
Dhanya. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.
Correct. Let's go.
Okay.
One,
1, 2, 3.
Dhanyavad.
Dhanyavad.